Good day, friends. I hope you're doing really well. This is Tracy Brown, and my team and I of non-diet, trauma-informed dietitians provide a space for you all to learn to have safety within your own system. And so in our Permission to Eat little series today, or I guess video two of two basically. So our first video was Monday, and we talked directly about when we don't allow full permission to eat, whether it's enough overall calories, certain food groups, certain things that would give you satisfaction and just this like settled sense inside that I know when enough is enough. When we don't do that directly with our energy needs, we tend to be obsessive and we tend to emotionally feel dysregulated, and food becomes way bigger than it has to be, right? So whether it's certain food groups we cut out, the way we think and feel about food definitely matters into our direct behavior around food. So we did talk about that Monday. In today's video, us dietitians spend so much time in sessions really looking at the how, when, the how come and when, and the function of how come we eat what we eat if we're not feeling satiated, if it doesn't feel like it's settling right, if we aren't doing the things that we want to do, right, in terms of our food intake. And oftentimes what we see is that the things that we restrict, the foods that we restrict, where we won't allow ourselves to have permission, and the foods that we feel like we don't know where the end is or the edge is, that we basically overreach for to the place of like, I'm not really hungry, or I'm eating to the point of like, I feel pretty sick. We're doing those things because the qualities of those foods that we are restricting or basically emotionally eating or binging on have some direct correlation with other needs in our lives that we're not allowing ourselves to have permission to have satisfaction with. All right, so I'll be really direct here, is that oftentimes I'll look at somebody's food and they're like, I feel like that I couldn't stop the ice cream until I felt almost sick on it. And so we'll go through the qualities of that food. So what happens in the moment that mouthfeel, let's say the ice cream is on your lips, and what are the qualities of that food? And what emotions directly come up the moment you start eating that food? And people will say, creamy and sweet, or maybe there's some peanut butter streaks in it, so it's got a little salty, savory kind of thing going on too. So we're asking those questions. So what feelings immediately in those first one or two bites get elicited the moment you take in that food, especially past the point of any kind of satisfaction? And we'll see that it's like, oh, the sweetness, and where are you missing sweetness in your life, and what other kinds of things in your life would give you, let's say if sweetness was a emotion, is it happy, is it joy, is it play, what is it you're missing in your life because you keep trying to get it through food and it's just not cutting it basically, and you keep trying to get it through food and it's just not cutting it. And then we get in this like kind of in this diet culture that creates the delusion, right, that like, oh, well, I'm doing all this emotional eating, I got to cut out this ice cream and that'll cut out my problem. It won't cut out the underlying issue, right? If you stop eating ice cream and you're trying to get your only joy in your day, in your week, in your month, in your year from the ice cream, what's going to happen? All right, well, I got to find another way to get my joy if you're just not directly getting it through your life, through connection, through good conversations, through a walk in the woods, through literally having a hobby, whatever it is. If you're not getting satisfaction and you don't have permission to get satisfaction, and all you do is people please and work and suppress emotions, if you're not going to allow yourself to have a full embodied life, you're going to reach for food. You're going to underreach or you're going to overreach. So that's just one example, and I'm doing it very quickly, in a quick short teaching video here. But honestly, we'll look at one food and it'll take a whole hour to really get through, like, how many times a week would you need certain kinds of like connection, love, belonging, feeling like there's a sense of significance in your life. What would those activities be? How would you get them? Where would you get them? Who would you get them with? What would it look like? You've really got to have a vision for where you're going or what you need. Otherwise, food's still going to be the red herring. Food's still going to be what you feel like is your only friend or your only safe space or whatever it is. And no diet will fix that. No program will fix that if we don't deal with the root of it, which is I don't really know how, or I feel afraid, or I don't think I deserve it. to get these other intrinsic needs met. So whether you're restricting or you're, I'm going to call it emotional eating, emotionally under-eating, emotionally overeating, if you don't get to the root of the feelings that you're trying to elicit through restricting, under-eating or overeating, if you don't get to the root of that, what that's doing, you'll stay in the delusion that the only thing that's going to fix this is to be stricter and have more willpower and to overcome this. And it's like, or we can look at the condition of our heart. We can look at these wounds. We can be a compassionate witness to it and be really curious and devoted to our becoming. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was really helpful. If you liked it, let me know below. Please pass it along to people who are like just so stuck in that loop of like trying to fix an internal issue with an external method. It doesn't really work. We've got to get to the heart of things. And I hope this video helped motivate you or give you some courage to do that or to reach out if you need more help. So thanks so much, and I'll see you in our next series. Bye for now.